Jarrett Moore, who I saw on my timeline, someone actually promoting, he said, YouTube recommended me this video when it was at 40K views with a dude with 6K subs. It's the best video I've seen in months. YouTube homepage usually sucks and sometimes won't even show your subscribed channels, but dude, when it hits, it crits hard. The video's title is Cultural Nihilism and the Rise of the Grifter. Okay? The video is now sitting at 200,000 views by the channel Jarrett Moore. Now, some people have already probably watched this. I have not. I would like to watch it. I will also tell you, I already looked up the dude. He's a HasanAbi head. So just pointing it out before people go, oh, this is, you know, some of the criticisms that you're seeing here, you know, make up your own mind. But I'm very excited to watch this, seeing that even random accounts on Twitter are promoting this guy. And I suspect that there's going to be some cool stuff in here. Let's take a look.
Attention span to escape the grips of a MrBeast video. When the timer reaches 0, this 2013 Volkswagen Jetta will pull me across the pavement at top speed.
In 3 years' time, I'm going to be exposed for diabolical behavior as a Discord mod.
Haven't I seen this rope trick before?
Hasan, you may or may not have went into brothels with minors. I have not, but why are you fucking fantasizing about that? You fucking freak, you cretin, you gross little monster.
More importantly, will anybody care if they've seen it before? Jump cuts are starting to make me feel nauseous. I'm almost too sick to find the close tab button. Why do I care about this? Am I doomed to exist in an endless cycle of trivial curiosity and relief with nothing to take away at the end? Am I anything more than a hostage to my dopamine receptors? In a leaked internal document, Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast, explains his vision and goals for the channel in a 36-page manifesto. Your goal here is to make the best YouTube videos possible. That's the #1 goal of this production company. It's not to make the best produced videos, it's not to make the funniest videos, not to make the best looking videos, not to make the highest quality videos. It is to make the best YouTube videos possible.
The Beast
Everything
Manifesto.
we want will come if we strive for that. This bears striking
Is that Mussolini? This guy's awesome.
resemblance to a 2015 Atlantic article warning about the commercialization of art. Now it's an audience you think of addressing. It's a customer base. Now you're only as good as your last quarter sales. It's hard to believe that the new arrangement will not favor work that's safer, more familiar, formulaic, user-friendly, eager to please. More like entertainment, less like art. Artists will inevitably spend a lot more time looking over their shoulder, trying to figure out what the customer wants rather than what they themselves are seeking to say.
I feel the retention is, you know, just give us...
99% of movies and TV shows would flop on YouTube. On top of that, they'd be wildly unprofitable, having no flexibility and long lead times that can't adapt to trends. We aren't here to make a small movie once or twice a year. I want to make one every week. LOL. MrBeast makes
Okay, I do want to point something out here. Hollywood is becoming MrBeastified. Hollywood is becoming more YouTube adjacent. Unfortunately, instead of vice versa, where there are YouTubers who are resisting against the temptation of the algorithm and, like, you know, digging their heels in and trying to make something that truly matters. But instead, I would say that Hollywood is going the way of the slop tuber.
Production, long-form Super Bowl commercials on a weekly basis. The scale of the production that's grown to be his trademark is impossible without corporate sponsorships. The millions he's paid from views on YouTube is often just enough to cover the cost of making the video, with a large percentage of revenue coming
Yes, Love, Death, and Robots had MrBeast in it, and it was a very cool episode.
from corporate sponsors like T-Mobile or his own business ventures like Feastables chocolate bars. This gets into a moral gray area when you remember that half of his 350 million person audience are children. One of the newest products he started to advertise are the Beast Labs collectible action figures. A toy with loot box style gambling that requires you to keep buying packs until you finally get the legendary Who Gives a Shit.
I can't wait to learn numbers, counting colors and shapes with you today.
No, not Miss Rachel. No, don't disparage my legend. She's a wonderful beacon of light in a sea of endless depravity. No, not Miss Rachel.
For all children's television programming, there's something required by the FCC called a bumper. This is to signal to children that the show they're watching has officially paused and advertisements have commenced. It was deemed unethical to have a child's friend, SpongeBob, tell them that the only way they could make friends this fall is if they purchased the new Prime Energy drink.
I want a 4,000 Gucci sweater. I want a house, an iPhone 15. I want MrBeast in my basement. I want a lion. I want KSI and Logan Paul in my basement.
Oh, God.
I want this lady in my basement.
The invention of the Gutenberg printing press led to the Protestant Reformation. The ability to mass-produce copies of the Bible gave people a more direct relationship with God. With the advent of the social media influencer, people now have a more direct relationship with advertisers, forming parasocial relationships with the people that try to sell them products. There needs to be a clear demarcation between advertisement and entertainment. What happens when there is no differentiation? The advertisement is the content, and the content can only exist as an advertisement. All of the consumer protections created by the FCC to regulate broadcast television still only apply to broadcast television. Is this relationship still a concern to our government, or is it the desired outcome for the next generation to be conditioned as more active consumers? MrBeast's biggest video was his recreation of the contest from the Netflix original series, Squid Games, an anti-capitalist satire set in South Korea where financially desperate contestants compete in life-or-death games for a life-changing sum of money. It explores how the ruling elite debase and humiliate us for their own entertainment, forcing the working class to strip themselves of their humanity and abuse each other just to keep their heads above water. MrBeast saw this and went, whoa, why don't I do that? Squid Games is not a warning for the future. It's a critique of the present.
Which one you want? This one? Okay, here's coin. I have one. Here you go. Here, good luck.
Thank you.
You win? No. No? Okay, my coin.
Can I take it?
My coin?
Yes, can I take
Wait, my coin?
Oh my God, bro. The fucking fictionalized version of events these guys are recreating in real time.
Everything the show parodied is what MrBeast had already been doing to a lesser extent. He just brought it right up to the line before executing people.
If I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. You're gonna get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? Like I was not having a good time. I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can...
Honestly though, Dogpack is cringe, extra, and annoying as fuck. I cannot believe him for the life of me. Who's Dogpack? Is this Dogpack? Isn't this the guy who did a Jimmy Beast video?
Pay back your student loans.
He was lauded for his YouTube recreation getting more views than the original source material. In our entertainment landscape that values views and dollars more than anything else, there's no other conclusion you can really come to.
And all I thought about was art and music. Now I'm 36, and all I think about is money.
People argued MrBeast's video was superior because the original took 12 years for the creator to get into production. Meanwhile, a YouTuber can recreate it in a few months, stealing all the challenges and aesthetics and stripping it of the art and social commentary. He parlayed the success of the Squid Games video into a full-length series of the same nature on Amazon Prime called Beast Games.
1,000 contestants! Are you all ready?
It's hard not to put yourself in the shoes of the contestants, knowing what's at stake. There's a bizarre detachment to what the reality of money is for normal people. The show has a sanitized triviality regarding the stakes of what's happening. Someone will be seconds away from winning hundreds of thousands of dollars and fail to meet some arbitrary criteria, shattering their dreams. They could have been on the precipice of leaving a housing situation plagued with domestic violence, finally being able to leave the job they hate and starting their own business, or a parent being able to spend time with their children for once. Then MrBeast pulls a lever and says, "Bummer!" before a single mother's dropped through a trap door while he makes soy face into the camera. There were 2,000 contestants, so there wasn't a deep dive into anybody's individual story. You could just see glimpses of their life in between challenges. When deciding on picking team captains for somebody that would be bribed in exchange for eliminating their team members, somebody was trying to prove their integrity by saying, "I'm an Army veteran, I'm living out of my car." There was a murmur in the group. Did he just say he was homeless? I don't want to trust a hobo. A woman tries to stick up for him. He's not homeless, he lives in his car by choice. I think MrBeast should be in charge of military recruiting. Enlistment is down with Gen Z. Less people are willing to join the meat grinder just for a Dodge Hellcat. But what if the signing bonus was a Dodge Hellcat or a mystery box? We're already at the point where sitting in air-conditioned offices, flying explosive drones into people's homes with joysticks. For every day your platoon is able to occupy Aleppo, your child will receive an extra $1,000 towards their college fund. I was joking about this, and then I saw the Pentagon was actually in communications to collaborate with MrBeast on a project. Apparently it fell through, but there was a cute little cameo from the Navy SEALs in Episode 5 of Beast Games, so we can only speculate on what level of involvement the Department of Defense will have on future content. I don't hate MrBeast. He does give more to charity than 99% of us ever will, and at the end of the day is just a guy that makes YouTube videos. He just gives me this queasy feeling that we're living in a dystopia, that if you lose your leg, your best bet is accidentally running into a YouTuber that thinks it will go viral if they give you a prosthetic leg. He thinks as much himself. Hating MrBeast would be like hating a hurricane. He was inevitable. The social media algorithms and distribution of new media were the low-pressure zone required for him to form.
That's a great, by the way, oh, fucking banger. God damn. God damn, that's a banger. He put it in better words than I ever could.
If you told a supercomputer to be the most popular YouTuber of all time...
The Beast was inevitable is so fucking true, dude. It is. The Beast is inevitable. Someone was going to unleash the Beast. No matter who it was, no matter which shape it took, it was always going to be like this.
He would be doing the same exact thing as MrBeast. He's reverse engineered YouTube's code to give us exactly what engineers in Silicon Valley think will keep us watching. When decisions are made solely on market research, algorithm optimization, and return on investment, the content becomes a procedural checking of boxes better suited for an AI than an artist. If Amazon or Netflix create an artificial intelligence to dictate programming, what will be lost from our culture? At this point, would we even notice? How did we get here? The year is 1990. Looming threat of nuclear war with Russia, mullets and baggy pants. Joe Biden is running for re-election and Mike Tyson lost his first fight. The Simpsons premiered on Fox. The year is 2024. Mullets and baggy pants. Looming threat of nuclear war with Russia. Mike Tyson lost his last fight, and Joe Biden lost his last re-election. The Simpsons finished its 34th season. 34 years of cultural stagnation.
Great.
The grips of nostalgia have destroyed the infrastructure of our institutions, and the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight was the final nail in the coffin of meritocracy. Their fight was a metaphor for the entertainment landscape at large. Mike Tyson representing Hollywood, the behemoth and cultural icon of the past, well past his prime, and being paraded out regardless of his ability based on his reputation that he can sell tickets.
I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm gonna die. It's gonna be over. Who the fuck cares about me when I'm gone? People that think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're dead.
That was some real shit. That was some real ass shit he said right there.
Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before. So thank you so much for giving me that kind of idea as well.
God damn. Smoking on the content pack, dude. Listen. Things look dire, okay? But fucking there are moments that are so perfect, like that last one that we experienced, where I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's valid. That's good that happened. It had to happen.
Love you too.
And then his ass cheeks. I can't
Jake
show
Paul,
that.
the influencer, the self-made man that circumvented the traditional path to success. Nobody told him he was the world's greatest boxer. He said it for us. A master in marketing and navigating the algorithm to get his face on the screen, fueled equal parts by love and hate, leaning into his role as the heel with people tuning in and buying pay-per-views just to see him get knocked out. But that doesn't matter. You don't have to be liked or respected to make it rich in America. You just have to be seen. William Deresiewicz explains in his Atlantic article, The Death of the Artist and the Birth of the Creative Entrepreneur.
No more gatekeepers, goes the slogan of the internet apostles. Everyone's opinion, as expressed in Amazon reviews and such like, carries equal weight. The democratization of taste. Judgment rested with the patron in the age of the artisan. In the age of the genius, it
Listen. It's one of his first videos, I think. That's why the sound editing is a little crazy. Or, I mean, yeah, this is his second video. Adam Sandler's new special, The State of Comedy, and why he's still underrated. Whoa. He thinks Adam Sandler is underrated. That's crazy. Okay.
largely rested with the artists themselves. In the age of the professional, it rested with the critic. But now we've come to the age of the customer, who perforce is always right.
Come on, shit, dude.
Or as a certain legendary entertainer is supposed to have put it, there's a sucker born every minute. Another word for gatekeepers is experts. Lord knows they have their problems, beginning with arrogance. But there's one thing you can say for them. They're not so quite easily fooled.
The breakdown in trust of the institutions after repeated failure has opened up avenues for con men to come in and fill in the gaps. Are they up for the task?
At the highest level of performance, you need a deeper understanding of the craft to appreciate the nuance that separates somebody from the top 10% and the top 0.1%. The best boxer in the world isn't focused on marketing, he's focused on boxing. There needs to be an infrastructure of support around them to package what it is they excel at to an audience. There's currently a legitimate heavyweight champion of the world, and nobody knows his name compared to Jake Paul. Somebody that's passably competent with an eye for promotion ends up overshadowing once-in-a-generation talents. Comedy clubs experience a similar problem with social media personalities touring the circuit despite never having done stand-up. Even the most respected comedy clubs are still a business and can't say no to a guaranteed sellout. Roughly 8 weekends out of their 52-week calendar will be booked by people with little to no live performance background.
Dude, Hasan, this video is so bad. This is the peak of anti-intellectualism and slop. Wait, what are you talking about? What is... I disagree vehemently with your position, chatter. What the fuck do you mean? He has said 0 wrong things thus far. Like, there was always a commodification of art, but it was never, in my opinion, it isn't... Talk about the Uyghurs? What? What the fuck is happening, dude? I'm gonna fucking shoot myself into the sun on a goddamn spaceship. No, there's always been a commodification of art, but it has never been fucking as streamlined. Like even in the age of like even in the Gilded Age, okay, with unprecedented wealth inequality up until this very moment, of course, which is definitely gotten worse than then. There was a concept of like a patron of the arts. Like there were incredibly profoundly wealthy people that at least still, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, at least still turned around and offered public goods to everyone. Yes, it was a monument to their success. It was maybe some might even consider it to be an act of hubris, but there were still, like, they would build like fucking libraries. You know what I mean? There were still libraries. There was still a way for both public goods to exist and a way for art to thrive as well. That doesn't exist anymore. These motherfuckers literally sit around and post on Twitter instead and cry about why the working poor, the peasants, don't actually appreciate them more. No more fucking museums. And also on top of that, no more patronage, no more fucking funding of the arts at all. There's not even an interest of making it seem as though it's like worthwhile. Long live Asmongold, free Israel. What is this Asmongold go offline or something? This is what I mean. People get their news from a fucking dickhead who lives in his who broadcasts to an arena full of people, okay, from his goddamn living room. And worse, sometimes even more people get their news from a guy who's living in rot. At least I went to school for this shit. He's not even demonstrating basic competence of being a human. And there are people who unironically go, no, that's my guy. He's fucking brilliant. Like, look, oh my God. And their fans are, holy shit. Hey, look, it's my favorite Nazi supporting terrorists with a Gucci bag. Bitch, if I was a Nazi supporter, you would like me. What are you talking about? You'd be like defending me online. That's the funniest aspect of this, is like, if I was a fucking Nazi, you would actually like me. You and I both know that's not the case.
One time I opened for Ed Bassmaster, whose claim to fame was walking up to people on the street and asking them a question and then going. That's about it. I was hosting the show. I was booked to warm up the crowd, and then he was going to do costume changes, and while he's off stage getting dressed, I would go on stage and fill more time. I met him in the green room and was like, hey, my name's Jarrett. How long do you want me to do in between costume changes? He's like 2 to 3 minutes top. And make sure to get my character names correct. Don't mess it up. It's Gerard Douche, Mumbles, Skippy, and Chip Diamond. Make sure you nail those. And I'm like, yeah, all right, dude. So I go on stage, I do my host set, and then I introduce the first character, Mumbles, which is just a ripoff of Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. He says hi, and then the crowd goes nuts, but he didn't have any material planned, so in character, he just starts talking about his real-life accomplishments. He's like, man, I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like if this person was qualified to talk about it, they wouldn't be doing it on YouTube, and he's not. The title of this video is just a combination of words for YouTube's algorithm, a nothing burger with no reference to any of the concepts mentioned or any academic production, typical YouTube content. You're watching a fucking Twitch streamer. It's not anti-intellectualism, it's just pseudo-intellectualism. You're watching a Twitch streamer. The fuck? I'm sorry that he's breaking down concepts in an easy to understand fashion. What the fuck? You're watching a Twitch streamer watch someone on YouTube, okay? You're not exactly reading a book.
Here, we got big things in the works.
No one said this was highbrow, but I think it's a pretty decent analysis of like what has took place thus far. Ay, ay, ay.
I just sold a project to Netflix. We're gonna be on Netflix, guys, and they're just going nuts. He's only up there for like 2 minutes. Then he's like, okay, bring the host back up on stage. I go on stage and do my 3 minutes, and then I see from the sound booth they're telling me to stretch because he's not ready yet. So I just keep going, and I do 10 minutes. He comes back on stage for his next character, which is just a ripoff of Andrew Dice Clay. He's flicking his cigarette in the crowd. He still doesn't have any material. He's like, yo, we just sold a project to Netflix. So he just did the same thing again, but as his different character, because he didn't write any jokes he maybe had like 30 seconds of material, and then he's like, hey, we got big things in the works. Oh, I'm a celebrity. Boom. I go back on stage, do another 3 minutes. He's not ready again. I do another 10 minutes. Then I bring him back on stage for a third time. I'm like, okay, this must be the big one. I go to the bathroom, I come back into the showroom, and the crowd is dead silent. He has this look of terror in his eyes. He's just like panicking and like scanning the crowd. He's like, where is he? Host, get back on stage. I had to remember the names Mumbles and Gerard Douche, and he didn't bother to remember my one Christian name. The show was about 45 minutes long, and he was paid $8,000. I did 37 of those minutes for him, and I think I got paid like $50. And I was still young at the time. I didn't think I was the one that deserved to be headlining. But it's taking away potential stage time from people further along in their careers that are trying to get better at this and trying to get to the point where they could sell out their own crowds. Somebody that the local hosts and features in our scene would be able to learn from by working with them for the weekend and building connections. Robert De Niro's first big break was playing a younger version of Marlon Brando in The Godfather 2. An elder statesman of Hollywood passed the torch for the next generation star to be born. When it came time for him to play the old mob boss at the end of his career in The Irishman, instead of casting a new face to carry on the mantle of the American crime movie, they used CGI to de-age a 78-year-old Robert De Niro to look 62 and play a 30-year-old version of himself. His wrinkles were smoothed over, but his arthritic skeleton lurked beneath the surface of CGI and special effects. He moved with the grace of Joe Biden climbing the stairs to Air Force One. They cast somebody who couldn't convincingly open a jar of pickles, throwing thugs through windows and stomping out rival gang members before hobbling away like your grandpa looking for his chair in the shower. Steven Seagal is playing Special Forces operators, reporting to his 89-year-old commanding officer.
Yo! Rapid old man in an army uniform and is like, well, I don't know if we can get up that mountain by sunrise.
Yo, calm down.
We're so preoccupied with name recognition.
No shitting on Steven Seagal, the GOAT.
We haven't been able to gracefully transition to the next class. We have a generation of super seniors still hanging out at the local high school, making teenage girls uncomfortable and offering them Quaaludes. The spots for writers and actors in general became much more limited following the boom of reality television after the 2007 writers' strike. The studios had an adversarial relationship with creatives and told them, we can do this for the most part without you.
You preach leader etiquette to my kids, put your phone away. You preach theater etiquette, put it away.
There's sheep right there. We're gonna have to speed up a little. She's zooming, dude.
Sure, you're a Shakespearean-trained actor, but will anybody watch your stupid play if Snooki is getting punched in the face outside? The scripted projects that were greenlit were mostly star vehicles and existing IPs, and the audiences didn't seem to mind. Audiences are still paying to see Frankie Valli wheeled out like he's in Weekend at Bernie's, blinking "Help Me" in Morse code, instead of trying to support new bands at local shows. It's a short-sighted model that's beginning to implode on itself. If we don't start investing in talent while they're young, once the older generation passes away, they won't have the experience needed to develop into...
Refresh the comments. The creator pinned something for you. Hasan, check the comments. I feel like Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar yelling at the bookcase. I watch every morning, Lamau. Told you. A great video, by the way. That's so funny. Chatting through YouTube comments. I don't know why he just didn't say something in the chat. What if the 5D chess play was actually, the chatter was actually the one chatter I was duking it out with, saying this is actually slop. This has no academic context. This is also YouTube slop.
There's sheep right there. We're gonna have to speed up a little. She's zooming, dude.
Sure, you're a Shakespearean-trained actor, but will anybody watch your stupid play if Snooki is getting punched in the face outside? The scripted projects that were greenlit were mostly star vehicles and existing IPs, and the audiences didn't seem to mind. Audiences are still paying to see Frankie Valli wheeled out like he's in Weekend at Bernie's, blinking "Help me" in Morse code, instead of trying...
That's Austin. Austin is the audience for this. Like, unironically, we've talked about it on the Fear M podcast.
Trying to support new bands at local shows. It's a short-sighted model that's beginning to implode on itself. If we don't start investing in talent while they're young, once the older generation passes away, they won't have the experience needed to develop into what the icons of the past used to be. The director of The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola, tried to tackle the issue of studios not taking chances and stifling artists' creative vision by starting his own. In 1969, he founded Zoetrope Studios, a studio by artists, for artists.
Francis said, I've had it with these big Hollywood movies, I've had it with Hollywood, I don't want to do this, I want to do something more interesting.
Coppola shared his vision for the new company with Lucas.
I came back with great enthusiasm, and I told young George Lucas about this vision of like having a place out in the country, and we'll just make the bedrooms editing rooms, and we'll discuss the script in the garden, have lunch together, and there'll be, all these young people working together will be independent.
He had clear paths for development, with in-house school and internships, profit sharing for employees, and mentorship programs, where the old guard of every position would take people under their wings and develop their talent for their future careers.
Maybe you could light the candle to show that, that new hope is springing.
This is good.
Their strategy was to parlay the success of each film and roll over any money they made into developing their next project. In 1982, investors lost faith and started to pull their funding. Coppola took out millions in personal loans and put up his house for collateral to make the film one from the heart. The film generated $600,000 against a $26 million budget. The studio went belly up and Coppola had to file for bankruptcy. He was forced to go back to the studio system, directing safe films to recoup his losses. After several successful business ventures and recouping his fortune, he was set on making his 40-year passion project, Megalopolis. Spoiler alert, massive piece of dog shit.
You think 1 year of medical school entitles you to plow through the riches of my Emersonian mind?
Entitles me?
Yes.
Entitles me?
Yes.
Entitles me?
Yes. So go back to the club.
The movie was based on Elon Musk's favorite book, Bad Sign, 12 Against the Gods. It's set in an alternate version of New York City, mixed with the Roman Empire, and tells the story of Caesar, a billionaire creative genius.
I've not said that. I've not seen this movie at all. I didn't want to waste time with it. To be fair, I have not even seen clips of it. I don't know anything about. When it came out, I instead watched what was it? The anime
that discovers a new molecule that kind of looks like an Art Deco building and vaguely does something cool. His vision is to rebuild the entire city out of this material, and the mayor Cicero says, I don't know, that kind of seems like a waste of money. We have, thousands of people starving in the streets. We could use that money for healthcare. This is the villain of the film. The entire thing is just such a Hollywood elite power fantasy. At one point, the main character is arrested for
unlawful intercourse with a minor, statutory rape, and more coming.
What are you talking about?
And then he has a team of Charlie's Angel-style supermodels break into the records department and prove that she was lying and was actually a 23-year-old, thus exonerating him of the sex crime. Caesar goes into debt mirroring Coppola's until an asteroid destroys the city and he gets to rebuild with his fancy Art Deco molecule. None of the material conditions of the starving masses are addressed, but he gets to rebuild the city with copper moving sidewalks like an airport terminal.
This is the happy ending. Megalopolis lost $110 million of the director's own money, and there's something kind of beautiful about that. I am thrilled to accept the Razzie in so many important categories for Megalopolis, and for the distinctive honor of being nominated as the worst director, worst screenplay, and worst picture, at a time when so few have the courage to go against the prevailing trends of contemporary movie making. In this wreck of a world today, where art is given scores as if it were professional wrestling, I choose not to follow the gutless rules laid down by an industry so terrified of risks that despite the enormous pool of young talent at its disposal, may not create pictures that will be relevant and alive 50 years from now. What an honor to stand alongside great and courageous filmmakers like Jacques Tati, who impoverished himself completely to make one of cinema's most beloved failures, Playtime. My sincere thanks to all my brilliant colleagues who joined me to make our work of art, Megalopolis. And let us remind ourselves that box office is only about money, and like war, stupidity, and politics, has no true place in our future. He made exactly what he wanted to make and paid no mind to studio executives or what he thought would be profitable. He says, screw my kid's inheritance. Sophia's got that lost in translation money. She'll figure it out. He blew his life savings so we could see Aubrey Plaza's titties one last time before he died. He did that for us. Reusing the same roster of creatives can save money for a project's advertisement budget. It's much more difficult for people to go see a stage play set in the 1800s about a group of strangers waiting out a blizzard than it is for them to go see the newest Tarantino movie. You don't have to build up hype from the ground floor. You already have the goodwill from the success of the last project. But sometimes that goodwill can run dry and people become a brand risk. Ezra Miller was cast as the Flash and set to be the new face of the DC cinematic universe, and then proceeded to terrorize the population of Hawaii for the next 2 years. They were charged with allegedly choking a woman, assaulting 2 people at a karaoke bar, kicking in a couple's door and threatening to kill them, stealing somebody's passport, hitting a woman over the head with a chair, burglarizing a home, and has been accused on 2 separate instances of grooming 12-year-olds to join their sex cult. They became an Avengers-level threat that ascended to the level of cryptid. Chupacabra, Wendigo, Ezra. Parents in Oahu warned their children not to stay out after dark, otherwise the Flash would get them. Similarly, Marvel abandoned the storyline of Kang after the actor Jonathan Majors pulled a Homer Simpson on his wife, allegedly. Human beings are a liability. We used to go see the newest Scorsese or Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Nowadays, the star isn't necessarily the creator or the leading man of the film, but the character themselves. Fictional characters are infallible. Batman can never Me Too somebody.
Robin, if you want to go on the next mission, first you have to do something for me.
Like what, Batman?
I've just been really stressed out lately and need something to decompress.
Well, golly, how can I help?
Do you remember rule number 1 of being a hero?
Never reveal your secret identity.
More broadly.
The importance of keeping a secret?
Precisely. Robin, grab the bat lube.
After Iranian General Soleimani was killed in a U.S. airstrike in 2019, a prominent cleric was asked, who can we take out as revenge against America for what they've done to us?
Oh, this is
He
a bar.
responded,
Think about it. Who are we supposed to take out? Spider-Man and SpongeBob? They don't have any heroes. We have a country in front of us with a large population
real.
and a large landmass, but it doesn't have any heroes. All of the heroes are cartoon characters. They're all fictional.
People are reaching a fatigue with existing IPs. Interests are waning in superheroes and Fast and Furious movies. The cow is milked dry.
A newer version of that meme is one that Americans actually self-apply sometimes whenever they fucking shit on America as opposed to China, where they'll be like 5-year China plans, and then it's just like high-speed rail web all across the entire grand Chinese nation state. And then 5-year American plans are like Avengers 11. It's true.
The udders are chafing. We have to keep trying for new ideas and characters that will define the cultural zeitgeist for our next generation. The places I'm still seeing produce interesting art are getting away with it by diversifying their artistic investment portfolio. Instead of dropping $300 million on It's Morbid Times, what if you spent $15 million making 20 original movies and just going all out?
Some of them will suck, some of them will be great, but we have to try. It's a gamble, but when you're in the business of distributing art to society, it's worth the risk. If all you care about is money, get into arbitrage or health insurance.
Bisexual lighting
The
in
mainstream entertainment system can get away with not
Oh
taking
no,
it.
he's turning into a bread tuber. No, stop. Don't do this. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. America 5-year plans. Marvel Studios Phase 4. You see the Chongqing train station they're finishing up? It's some sci-fi shit, but I guess it's sci-fi. It's just sci because it's real because they actually give a fuck about their people's well-being. Yeah. You see the Klarna news? Okay, stop. Klarna losses widen as more users miss payments. 100 million now on platform. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Also, that guy, Megaphonics, you're so funny. Wait, was it? No, Megaphonics wasn't the one who linked that to me. Whoever linked that to me, that dude that you linked is a literal fucking Nazi, by the way. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain this guy is a straight up neo-Nazi. I get it. It's a good joke and it went viral, but such is Twitter. Just so you guys know. The more you know, which I guess is like a recession indicator in and of itself, okay? A Great Depression indicator. No, not Christian Bale, chatter. What the fuck? No, this fucking account, the Surf account. Pretty sure he's a fucking open, out and about white nationalist neo-Nazi, even though he had a banger tweet here. Anyway, that's besides the point. The more you know, that's just how fucking, that's just how Twitter is. It is what it is, baby.
Risks by reusing their tried and true roster of proven talent, rebooting.
Klarna is a loan application. An application that you can use when you are purchasing Uber Eats delivery or, small items. You can loan your burrito purchase on Uber Eats with Klarna. They are literally directly linked with, I believe, with the Uber Eats. It's cool.
Being a franchise or making another sequel, or taking whatever's currently popular on the internet and consider that passing the first round of focus group testing. That's how we end up with the Rizzler on Jimmy Fallon. NBC said if this is what America wants, we'll give it to them. Bring him out on primetime for the masses. Jimmy Fallon is a transitionary figure in the media landscape who grew up in a different age of entertainment. He came up watching Bob Hope and Johnny Carson and is trying to carry on the format of their shows for a new audience and culture. The nature of fame and what a celebrity is has changed since the 70s.
You'd think he would be famous for being the last guy to be on the moon. His name was Harrison Schmitt. He's not famous, but a girl with a giant ass is famous. Now, when I was young, a man who went to the moon was famous. And a lady with a giant ass, you'd go, can you stand over there? Because this is...
Where they'd previously interview child prodigies like Michael Jackson, now they're interviewing a child something. Prodigy's not the right...
Okay. The Rizzler disrespect must stop. The Rizzler disrespect must stop. He is also a child prodigy. Okay. Yeah. Think about it. He is the perfect American boy. So rotund. So rotund. So perfectly shaped. It's just, that's what it is. That's all it is. He is the perfect, he is the perfect iPad kid in form.
Right word. Comedian's not the right word. Brand? He's not sure what to do with him. Is he to be treated like an artist and we dive into his creative process? And what is there to say?
What's the story behind the
So basically, one day I came home from school and I was like, Dad, I want to make a video. And I was like, this is how to do the Riz face, and then I just did it.
Late night has always been a secondary form of entertainment.
Brilliant.
Whether it be musician,
Fucking brilliant. Dude, come on. I give that 5 booms. Ah!
or filmmakers, they would go on to promote their upcoming projects to a new audience, give a behind-the-scenes look to existing fans, or offer creative insights and inspiration to the people wanting to follow in their footsteps. As a talk show host, Fallon has spent 20 years humanizing titans of the industry and showing that despite their talent and influence, they're still just like us. What do we do when we already know that they're just like us? Neither the host nor the audience can pinpoint his exact talent, just that he has a gravitational pull of power.
You laugh, but he has a decent shot at the presidency. Yeah, after he does a fucking right-wing heel turn, and gets outed for doing crimes later in his life, he will have a wonderful career as the next president when he's 35. I don't know. Do the math on when that would be.
Power. You can see the fear of the unknown in Jimmy's eyes as he offers him treats to get in his good graces. The segment was more akin to when a wildlife expert would showcase exotic and deadly animals to the host. The Rizzler, lying in wait like the Black Mamba, ready to strike at the throat of late-night television. If entertainment gets to the point of superficiality, where it doesn't inspire any discussion or thoughts, there's no need for interviews or a variety show. We won't need to discuss the meaning or interpretations of art. The only meaning to the Costco guys is that there is no meaning. Can you imagine 100 years from now in anthropology class going, okay, so today we'll be dissecting Keemstar A-logging the Haktua altcoin pump and dump scam. None of those words are in the Bible. It's just a Mad Libs of mimetic trends. Like 20 years ago, Kurt Vonnegut was on The Daily Show speaking out against the Iraq War and promoting his new book. Now the Rizzler is mewing on Fallon, reviewing slop from the Costco food court.
Okay, to be fair, imagine if the Rizzler came out and was like, America is the nation of Satan, and its unholy allegiance with Israel has caused far too much destabilization and is bringing about the rule-based international order that America had designed, showing that it is nothing but a fraudulent, self-serving set of standards that we use against our enemies, who happen to be those with natural resources that we seek to exploit. Imagine if the Rizzler says some shit like that and then Jimmy Fallon just dies. He has an aneurysm on the spot and fucking dies. That's television. How many booms do you give that? Okay? That's more booms than 9/11. I'll tell you what. That would be the most skibbity thing that anyone has ever done.
We work with what we have, and if these are our new public intellectuals, I expect them to rise to the occasion. I am formally calling on the Rizzler to weigh in on the ICJ arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu. Is there any validity to international law, or is it just to impose Western hegemony on third world nations? Where does Vladimir...
Hive mind! Hive mind! Hive mind! Okay, that's brilliant. That's how you know. That's why this. Oh, come on! Come on! Oh! Okay, that makes me happy. That's fucking awesome. That is cinema. Respect. Also, it's the ICC that are issued an arrest warrant, but it's okay. It's not the ICJ. ICJ is state versus state. ICC is the International Criminal Court, but I'm not gonna give you any notes on that. But that was very good. It was very good. It's like reading a post that 100% agrees with you. Yeah, it feels good. What do you mean? Also, even Kurt Vonnegut himself said that all the artists' stance against the Vietnam War amounted to nothing. What did he say? He said it was like it was akin to fucking what, like a water droplet on top of a ladder or something. I forget what he actually said. So can we even say if he has more impact than the Rizzler? Exactly. The Rizzler, if he said that, it would be more than a custard pie being dropped from the top of a ladder. It would be more like an atom bomb of truth, a spiritual atom bomb, the type that Mao Zedong talked about. Many booms, not just 5, but many, many booms. The Riz nuke, the truth nuke coming from the Rizzler.
Putin's use of intercontinental ballistic missiles right on the boom meter. If these children don't know where they stand on the regime change of Assad, how can we in good conscience continue to call this fraud big justice? I can feel myself getting dumber. If I watch an entire movie without looking at my phone, I feel like a chess prodigy. It doesn't even have to be something deep. I could have my phone charging in the other room while I watch Fast and Furious. I walk around the rest of the day like I just read Finnegan's Wake. Yes, you see, Dom's love for Corona is symbolic to his allegiance to his family. Family's not solely bound by blood relation. It could be found in the eyes of a perfect stranger, the same way Corona implores you to find your own beach. Conversely, the NOS represents, is the trend going to continue? Are people going to be impressed if you watch a whole TikTok in 20 years? Like, brother, I do not have the attention span for a whole 60 seconds. I just hit my fent pump and electrocute myself to orgasm. I just found it's the most streamlined delivery system of dopamine between my second and third jobs. The people that don't have the opium zappers will be pretentious like the kids in school didn't have a TV growing up. I don't want to spend the night at Joey's house. Their family are freaks. They didn't let him get the Neuralink prostate pack. Their dad's religious and doesn't believe in fun, I guess. They just hit vapes and watch Minecraft streamers all day. They're like Amish or something. They're fucking weirdos. As the medium of media changes, it also changes us. A 2021 Harvard study reported a surge in Tourette's-like symptoms of adolescents using TikTok. The repetitive trending audios became default responses.
Very demure, very mindful.
Having a conversation with an 11-year-old feels like playing Cards Against Humanity. They just have this deck of
shoddy blood, like, that's good. Fire. It's Riz right there. That light skin Riz. Mad lit on God, no cap.
People are also self-censoring in real life to abide by social media platforms' terms of service. To get around content moderation when talking about subjects like rape or suicide, creators will use terms like unalive or essay instead. These topics aren't advertiser-friendly, so they have to be talked about in a roundabout, sanitized fashion. The reverberations of that are people in the real world feeling like they have to sanitize their speech, like there's an omnipresent content moderator always standing behind them. Refraining from profanity or talking about sex used to be from fear of eternal damnation. Now the fear is demonetization. These are heavy topics that aren't supposed to be light and advertiser-friendly. You shouldn't have to say, no diddy, but I was like raped as a child. You need therapy. In Neil Postman's book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, he reflects on how the medium of communication shapes the culture.
Okay, this is true. This is fact, though. Yeah, what we found out earlier today is that there is a 46% chance that that the Rizzler is a Hamas supporter, like a firm and committed Hamas supporter. Like low key. I mean, he's under the age of 18, which increases his chances of being a Hamas supporter. Because, like, think about how these numbers came about, okay? 18 to 24, that's the TikTok demographic. Who is on TikTok even more than 18-year-olds? 12-year-olds. The Rizzler is literally not only on TikTok, he's a TikTok content creator, okay? The younger you get, the more time you spend on TikTok. The more time you spend on TikTok, the more you talk about the Al-Qassam brigades and all of its glory. Like, the Rizzler probably has the fucking red operational Al-Aqsa flood banner, okay? Do you understand? Talk about a real baby of terror. These babies, they love terror. Extrapolating this trend linearly, this means a 2-month-old is 99% likely to support Hamas. Yes, that's my point. Exactly. Why do you think Israel wants to kill children so bad? Because they're not wrong. These are children of terror. The younger you are, the more likely you are on TikTok. The more likely that you are on TikTok, the more likely you support Hamas unconditionally. What do you guys think? That's you cracked the code, dude. That's it. Anyway, just I do this statistic it always makes me laugh. So I will probably be going back to this quite a bit. Like 50-50 split between multi-billion-dollar propaganda operation over the course of 77 years of apartheid and genocide versus the most Islamophobic nation on the planet lending support to a fucking group of orphaned teenagers with bathtub missiles and bathtub guns that they made, okay? Like, that is insane. I'm sorry. Israel is in the dirt, dude. Holy fuck. Can you imagine unleashing one of the most sophisticated multiple decade propaganda and influence peddling operations only to fucking be so horny and so arrogant for child murder that you literally have a 50-50 split with Hamas. 50-50 split with Hamas, a fucking organization designated as a terror organization in one of the most Islamophobic countries on the fucking planet. That's crazy. This is with the insane amount of censorship and the insane, unprecedented amount of contextualization of a live streamed Holocaust that you can get from every orifice in mainstream media. Like, this is why I was saying over and over again, if CNN and the New York Times and BBC and all these other fucking outlets were honest about their coverage of Israel's atrocities, it wouldn't be a fucking near 50-50 split for 18 to 24. 80-year-olds would be fucking preaching about Hamas. They would be advocating for a coalition of the willing to invade Tel Aviv. '16 NBA Finals all over again. Curry blew a 3-1 lead to Braun. Lego, it might be La Hamas. Zach from Try Guys just talked to the recent video about meeting him, and he asked if Zach liked Trump. Oh, the Rizzler? Yeah, of course they're fucking right wing. What are you talking about? I'm joking. What is this? My 5th grade daughter is reading at a 10th grade level and at the top of the honor roll in math and English. You seem angry. Cross Harvard off the list of schools for my kids. I don't think that's something you had to worry about anyway, champ. Doesn't sound appropriate, but it's probably a lie. Excuse me, sir. My name is The Real Truther. Obviously, I don't tell lies. Spreading truth about vaccines since 2015. Anti-Semite slayer. Listen to past spaces under highlights. Wait. This guy is an anti-vaxxer who also attacks anti-Semites? That makes no sense. Like, is he just like half the time shitting on... Wait, why do I follow him? What the fuck? What the fuck was this account in the past that it became this? Because look at all the other accounts that follow him. This must have been oh my God. This must have been a fucking account that was like... No, not bot followers. No. This was probably like, if you scroll back hard enough, you'll find like the truth. He probably was like normal and then lost his fucking mind. Either a meme page that got bought and then sold to this guy, or was a person that was like... was a person that wasn't normal, but like probably was one of those like conspiracy adjacent accounts that just like lost their mind post-COVID. No, it was a shitpost account 100%. I've seen a few meme accounts sold off and post the dumbest fucking ad slop. Could be. Gonna hit that unfollow now. It's a pro-vaxxer megalib who loves Israel. Oh, they're pro-vax. They're not anti-vax. Oh, when someone says spreading the truth about vaccines, oh, fighting science misinformation. Oh, it is pro-vax. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. All right, fuck. I probably followed them because they were fighting anti-vax losers. Never mind.
Of speech. It is recreated anew by every medium of communication, from painting to hieroglyphs to the alphabet to television. Each medium, like language itself, makes possible a unique mode of discourse.
How can you be fucking pro-vax and then be pro-Israel, by the way? Israel literally denied vaccines to Palestinians. Like, the fuck? That's weird. Like, that doesn't... You don't even think about that? How does that work? Not a part of your equation? Palestinians not human? Is that how this works? Gross. Yeah, he's pro-vax, but he didn't...
Course by providing a new orientation for thought, for expression, for sensibility. While I do not know exactly what content was once carried in the smoke signals of American Indians, I can safely guess that it did not...
He just said he's fighting anti-Semitism, not pro-Israel. No, dummy. This is where I'm getting he's fucking pro-Israel from, not the fact that he's like fighting anti-Semitism. If you see a poll like this and you're literally a science guy and you think this means all Harvard students, 46% of Harvard students, and it's not a Harvard poll, okay, you're so fucking insane. You're so insane at that point that you're lost in the sauce. You're like, oh, not sending my children to Harvard. They're pro-Hamas. Like, okay, dude. Like, the very fact that you can't even demonstrate basic competence and realize that this poll is conducted in a way where it's supposed to be Israel versus Palestine, but because that would be unfavorable to Israel supporters because it would be like 90% pro-Palestine, okay, that they do Israel versus Hamas, and those numbers keep fucking growing for Hamas month over month, and this person doesn't understand why. That is happening, you know? The person they replied to seemingly has you blocked. All their interactions are grayed out for you. This person? Oh. I guess they do. I know him online, lol. I don't know who this fucking person is. Let's go back to the video, please.
Not include philosophical argument. Puffs of smoke are insufficiently complex to express ideas on the nature of existence. And even if they were not, a Cherokee philosopher would run short of either wood or blankets long before he reached his second axiom.
October 27, 2024. The Twitch has become a hotbed for extremism. Deeply disturbing. Okay, dude. Why do you still follow me then, big dog?
You cannot use smoke to do philosophy. Its form excludes the content. Twitter in some respects has ruined our relationship with other human beings and has infected media and politics. The format of Twitter rewards certain styles of communication and either consciously or unconsciously has changed the way that we speak to each other. Features such as the 140 character limit strips words of their context and forces people to oversimplify complex subjects. This lends itself to sensational and divisive statements that embolden the people that agree with you and alienate those in the outgroup. The block button would eliminate naysayers from your feed and curate communities of echo chambers.
The quote tweet feature, or the look at this dumbass button, would be the driving force of cancel culture. You could take people's sensational and out-of-context tweets to poach their audience for max visibility and signal to your own tribe that you're not this dumbass, two-dimensional character that you're sacrificing upon the altar.
Did you read the recent news article with quotes from Hamas? You told me to support them, but they just stated they did October 7th to destabilize the Middle East, not anything to do with Israel. Why you gaslight me? Awesome. Seems like Hamas's intentions were to destabilize. They wanted to destabilize the Middle East. Why you do this? Why you gaslight me? Yeah, I'm in the pocket of big Hamas chatter. You got it.
This communication style spilled over the containment walls of Twitter and affected how we talk to each other in all facets of our life. Movies and television had characters not speaking to each other, but creating caricatures of the archetypes they see online and dunking on them with quips spoken to the audience beyond the fourth wall. Hollywood started to lose touch with the consensus of the American people and existed in bubbles of wealthy socialites. People started to tap out, finding no commonalities with the people that used to bring them joy through their work. They sought out alternative forms of entertainment. There was a huge boom in online independent content creators. The political horseshoe theory states that as you move further into the extremes of an ideology, the two wings start to take on more similarities than differences. On one side, we have Mao Zedong. Ooh, look at her go. Look at her go. Oh, she wants it. And on the other side, we have Adolf Hitler. The most radical of each party both take on ultranationalism and authoritarian mechanisms of control and come to the ultimate conclusion that
we're just gonna kill them.
Take the topic of abortion, for example. In the center, you have no strong feelings one way or the other. You just don't want to make people upset at dinner parties. If you go down a little bit in the right wing, abortion is a tragedy, but there still needs to be access for certain circumstances, such as rape or incest. If you go down even further, there's no exceptions whatsoever. Every abortion is a murder, and there should be no access. But if you go far enough right, they actually end up becoming pro-choice again, depending on the race of the baby. Similar to the political horseshoe, content exists on a horseshoe of attention. Let's replace the variables to illustrate this phenomenon. We'll replace the desire for change axis with views. And we're going to swap out the left-right political axis with cringe to awe-inspiring. The center, just like in politics, is boring.
The political horseshoe theory is ridiculous. That's disappointing from a HasanAbi head. I think it was a joke.
I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just fine. They're mediocre. There's no one you want to send it to. It's just something that you'll see and scroll past. Then we have the awe-inspiring, the content that reminds you what it means to be human. You're exposed to levels of talent and dedication that show you why these people were put on Earth. They give you hope for the future and passion for the present. Then on the other end of the spectrum, we have the embodiment of cringe.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
And here's why I should be a contender.
That guy was awesome.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Day 419 of spraying dog medicine on my hands.
That guy's also awesome.
Would you like to kick or receive the Bible?
The lolcows, the schizos, the rage bait, the dumbest guy from your high school's Gary V inspired hustlecore podcast, portals into unimaginable hell, despair stranger than fiction. The awesome and the cringe are more similar than they are different. There's a magnetism to them. You can't look away, either because it's like a car accident or it's so beautiful it transcends into angelic. You just have to share it with everyone you know. It's either art or it's some form of performance art by its mere existence. Artists are beginning to get phased out by content creators. An artist is somebody that makes art, and that word carries certain connotations with it. Art makes you feel something, it has resonance. It starts dialogues, and through people's different interpretations, it can reveal things about yourself and the world around you. Comedy carries the expectation that it'll make somebody laugh when they see it. If it doesn't make you laugh, there'll be arguments over whether it's even classified as a comedy.
Is this what passes for comedy nowadays? Must have forgot to laugh.
Is Nanette a comedy?
Think about this.
No.
You're stuck in traffic, and the lights turn blue.
Yeah, some people think it is. It doesn't have to make everybody laugh. It just has to make somebody laugh. If you intended for something to be funny and one person laughs, congratulations, you've succeeded at making comedy. You've met the functional definition of the product. If you make a chair, there's the expectation that you'll be able to sit in it. But if you give it to Dave Bluntz and he blows the legs out...
Ace Domain from the creator. I can explain the political horseshoe part coming up. I'm not a neo-lib, and this was the main misinterpretation, I think. It was mostly just a throwaway to get the content theory part. I was just saying that the autocrats, regardless of starting political ideology, usually end up employing similar tactics to maintain that power. Don't let the tankies be mean to me. No, it's over. You're canceled already, big dog. Sorry. Should have thought about that before you used it. Before you used such an infantile political tool to make a point.
Stop being a chair? No, it just wasn't made for him. It would have been the perfect stool for sweet baby Hezbollah. It was just sold to the wrong customer. But if no one on earth can sit on it like it's a flaming baseball bat with nails in it, you can't really call it a chair anymore. Content creators have no expectations. Nobody can say something technically isn't content. In the same way that Descartes said, I think, therefore I am, it was posted, therefore it's content. You could just as easily call it shit. Hey, did you see that latest shit Chrissy Teigen posted? Nah, I'm up to my neck in Johnny Salami shit right now. I don't even know if I'll get to it. Art is entertaining, so people end up treating it like it's interchangeable with entertaining shit.
Netflix pays $100 million to Aaron Sorkin or whoever to make a TV show, right, that distracts you for 2 hours. Right. YouTube pays $0 million to make a podcast that distracts you for 2 hours every day. Netflix cannot compete.
Media's talked about like it's a pacification ray just meant to tranquilize you long enough to make it to the next ad break. Just blasting you with a fire hose of concentrated fluoride meant to sedate you. And this is actually what some people claim they want. A common complaint people have on why they tapped out of movies and television is that everything's too woke nowadays. I don't want to be preached at by a bunch of out-of-touch millionaires and their politics. We need to go back to simpler movies to escape all that crap, like Star Wars, where a group of rebels engage in asymmetrical guerrilla warfare against a technologically superior evil empire, which doesn't have any parallels to anything like America in the 1960s. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know how you came to that conclusion. What the fuck do you mean the Ewoks are Vietnamese? No, they're little bears. To get into the woke phenomenon, we need to talk about the most persecuted minority in American history, the gamer. Now, I don't want to come across as tone deaf. I can say the G word. Hard R. I've reached levels of unemployment not heard of since the stock market crash of '29. While you were out partying, I studied the blade. While you were engaging in premarital sex, I practiced the blade. While you wasted your days in the gym in pursuit of vanity, I mastered the blade. Our people were brought into the sphere of public discourse in 2014 with Gamergate. Gamergate was a sprawling clash between Sargon of Akkad, Anita Sarkeesian, and Baron Horkonen. Wait, not the last guy. Everyone sounds like a villain from Doom for some reason. The gist of Gamergate was a female journalist critiqued the video game industry for objectifying women and only having them as one-dimensional characters with big jiggly titties meant to serve the male gaze. Responses to this ranged from "that's gay" to "that is super gay." For the chronically online that were on the pulse of this controversy, some people agreed with her critique of the industry,
and others wanted to kill her. Literally, were like, "You should die. We should do all of the medieval techniques of torture on you, and anyone who defends you also deserves it." Like, it's one of those moments where like sure, she was kind of fucking cringe, but like, who cares? Why the fuck did you invest any time and any effort, any moment of your life to losing your fucking mind over this person? How goddamn pathetic. My friend got so radicalized about those videos, he became a crypto Nazi guy. That's what I mean. It's like human beings are so fucking malleable. But god damn, you don't have any fucking intellectual backbone, no moral compass whatsoever, that like the fattest, sweatiest, most neck-bearded loser can convince you into giving your life up for implementing the Fourth Reich, which ironically enough, if things were to operate like the Third, you would be melted. You would be melted into biomatter under. Like in the new regime, you would not be an Aryan Chad. You would be in the fucking death camps for being a fucking maladjusted loser who can't leave his fucking house. Like, you would not be in the front lines, you know?
Some people disagreed, and a few people messaged her, "If you try to take away my big jiggly titties, I swear to God I will burn your house to the ground." The dialogue then shifted from the video games being misogynistic to the gamers themselves. A concerted effort was made by the gaming journalist community to write a slew of articles about how the gamer was dead. "We were a proud and noble people. We lived in harmony. The noob, the camper, the kid that would freestyle rap on Call of Duty party chats, until one day, the white woman attacked." This was the jumping off point for YouTube's right-wing radicalization pipeline. Creators such as Sargon of Akkad, Gavin McGinnis, and Milo Snuffleupagus gained notoriety during this time. When young men felt under attack by the culture, these YouTube personalities became a bulwark against the criticism and engaged in their own asymmetric warfare against the corporate media entities. The lines in the sand had been drawn for the culture war that was going to take place over the next decade.
Waluigi is the ultimate example of the individual shaped by the signifier. Waluigi is a man seen only in mirror images, lost in a hall of mirrors. He's a reflection of a reflection of a reflection. You start with Mario, the wholesome, all-Italian plumbing superman. You reflect him to create Luigi, the same thing, but slightly less. You invert Mario to create Wario. Mario turns septic and libertarian. Then you reflect the inversion in the reflection. You create a being who can only exist in reference to others. Waluigi is the true nowhere man. Without the other characters he reflects, inverts, and parodies, he has no reason to exist. Waluigi's identity only comes from what and who he isn't. Without a wider frame of reference, he is nothing. He is not his own man. In a world where our identities are shaped by our warped relationships to brands and commerce, we are all Waluigi.
To apply the postmodern analysis of Waluigi to our American entertainment system, we can start with the 1984 movie, Ghostbusters. Set in the Reagan era, it was an embodiment of the culture at the time. A ragtag boys club of blue-collar men kicking ass and saving the day, going up against the nerds and the dickless Environmental Protection Agency. We'll use them as our Mario. Traditional masculinity, saving the damsel in distress, and slinging dick jokes. Then came the 2016 reboot, Lady Ghostbusters. Wait, it's just called Ghostbusters? I've literally only ever heard it referred to as Lady Ghostbusters. It's too late to change now. Lady Ghostbusters is our Luigi, essentially the same skeleton as the original, but with a role reversal. In the Obama years, it was less a reflection of our culture than an attempt at a course correction to it. It didn't seem to have a problem with bosses sexually harassing their secretaries, but it posed the question, why can't a girl boss sexually harass her male secretaries? Chris Hemsworth played the himbo hunk with a room temperature IQ that the Lady Ghostbusters salivated over.
Now's your moment. Pull it out. Oh, sure. I feel like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
The movie was released in the summer of 2016, when all of Hollywood thought Hillary Clinton would be a lock for the presidency.
In all of the battles that were fought and lost, where I think every belligerent lost, I feel like I dodged all of these culture war bullets. Like, even when the Ghostbusters, Lady Ghostbusters shit was happening, I was like who cares? I didn't watch it. You know what I mean? I when Gamergate was happening, I was like, I play video games. I don't understand why these people are so obsessed with titties in video games. Like, why? Why do you make a big deal? Like, it becomes the content itself, and this is what's happening with Gamergate 2 now, is that the content is not about the games or playing it or consuming it or even like having any sort of serious critique about the commodification of art and how capitalism has destroyed even the space of gaming, even though there's still a lot of incredible games that come out year over year, and games are, some might even say, better than ever before. But like, it's more so about the outrage. Like, these guys that cry about the games that come out, they actually want shitty games to come out so they can complain. They need something. They need a villain. Like, they don't care about the games at all. I don't think they actually consume any games at all. Like, they rarely ever play video games. They are not in it for good video games. Like, their direction, what they want out of the gaming industry is not even necessarily like a clear-cut, well-defined agenda. Like, oh, all characters have to be like sexy, whether they're men or women. Like, men have to have strong dicks and women have to have strong titties. Like, that's not even what they really want. And that's precisely the reason why there's always outrage directed towards games that are fucking bangers. Like, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a great example of this. These outrage merchants freaked the fuck out about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The guy who made it is a bit of a reactionary himself, and yet he made an incredible game. Like, I played it. I spent countless hours on it, and it's so fucking good that it kind of like ruined me for playing the Oblivion remaster, because the combat after playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, when you get used to that combat, you're like, oh my God, every other type of like first person RPG combat is just so ass. You're just hacking for no reason. Like, it doesn't feel the same. And the world was expansive. It was lived in. It was real. Like, it felt real. The NPCs were like, they would react to you, the way you look, the way you act. It was awesome. And yet, gamers fucking freaked out because they thought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the guy who made it, even though he was a bit of a reactionary himself, had actually put a black character in the game. And there was a perfect reason for why there was a black character in the game. Just one, by the way, just one black character. And that there was a gay sex plot line. And people lost their fucking minds. They were like, how dare you? How dare you fucking put a black character in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? How dare you put gay sex in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Is optional, by the way. And they fucking lost their mind over it because they don't care about playing good games. They care about simply outrage.
The film suffered a similar humiliation to Clinton, being negatively panned by audiences and was a box office flop. The response by the creators was to blame the audience for the poor reception. They called the fan base racist, sexist, All the istonisms you can think of. I saw someone say the movie failed because of misogynoir, which is a new word for hating black women, I guess. They really need to workshop that one, because it sounds too sexy right now. It's like a cologne that Johnny Depp would sell.
Leslie Jones is a dumb bitch. Misogynoir. By Dior.
The backlash then fueled the creation of the monstrosity Waluigi, the inverse to Lady Ghostbusters. Lady Ballers. The reactionary swinging of the pendulum. Whereas the toxic masculinity of the 80s was subconscious and not altogether harmless, wasn't deliberately malicious, the new wave has gone septic. Their thesis statement is nothing besides we are not Lady Ghostbusters.
Boys are better at everything. They're better at basketball, MMA.
That goes without saying.
And running, and javelin, driving, parking, most of the STEM fields, rock and roll, opening pickle jars.
They don't know what they are, only what they're not. Anti-woke, anti-DEI, anti-establishment. The Daily Wire, PragerU, and right-wing media companies said they're going to be bringing back real comedy.
It's like comedy sucks. It's like nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like legalized comedy. Yeah, brother, this guy stinks!
Return to the heyday of the feel-good, apolitical, sophomoric comedies of Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup! Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup!
The movie Lady Ballers, directed by Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
I swear to God, that's his real name. Was marketed as a comedy that harkens back to the 90s and early 2000s. These people have no idea how to accomplish that task. It's as if the art of making a lighthearted comedy is a lost technology, like how the Egyptians built the pyramids. They are so off the mark of making something like Step Brothers or The Hangover, they must be sitting in the editing bay coming up with conspiracies on how Adam McKay was helped by extraterrestrials. The movie is just as pedagogic or preachy as any of the woke movies that they spent their careers rallying against.
Of course your divorce is affecting your daughter. 70% of all people in prison come from broken families. She's twice as likely to do drugs, twice as likely to drop out of school.
Oh, that's fucking worse.
4 times as likely to have trouble fitting in, 3 times as likely to end up in therapy, twice as likely to commit suicide.
It's condescending, spiteful, putting political messaging over any sort of story or character development.
These transhumanist tech oligarchs and nihilist college professors have already convinced every self-righteous housewife with Munchausen by proxy to sacrifice their kids on the altar of false virtue.
You cannot do a funny impression of somebody that you hate with all of.
Yeah, this is like shittier Aaron Sorkin. Oh my God. That was the most Sorkin-esque drivel I have ever fucking encountered. And it was somehow worse than the shit he puts out. Oh my God. Oh my God, the soy right is so real, dude. The soy right is not a fucking meme. It's just the reality. For years and years, it turns out the right were just jealous that what they perceived as like liberal monoculture was so dominant in media. They just wanted to be, they're just as soy. They just wanted to make movies. Like that's all this was. An arts program could have fixed half of the fucking reactionary movement. Sorkin, at the end of the day, at least has the dream of working with Republicans. That's also true. I mean, I guess they already got their conservative guy who writes long speeches. He just happens to be a Democrat Party voter. You know what I mean? What do you mean by Aaron Sorkin? That monologue right there was literally a Aaron Sorkin monologue. Aaron Sorkin is, if you like him, you are probably a liberal. You like long, drawn-out, idealistic monologues about how we can find a reasonable middle ground and that America truly is a great country. It's just we haven't been able to unleash our potential.
Of your being.
You just did that entire story to what?
To make a name for myself? To get clicks? To gain power? What part of I'm a journalist do you not understand? I'll cancel you.
The characters in Lady Ballers despise each other to the level of your parents arguing.
West Wing walks with Veep Karan. How could you fucking compare? How could you fucking compare two entirely separate types of art? West Wing is dog shit. It's idealistic liberal nonsense. Veep is a documentary. West Wing bricked an entire generation's brain, okay? West Wing is responsible for the modern Democratic Party more than Aaron Sorkin almost single-handedly is responsible for all of the failures of the modern Democratic Party. If you could pinpoint one type of, like one, if you were to, albeit reductive, but if you were to like figure out one person that is perhaps most responsible for third-way neoliberalism and its prominence in mainstream culture, and it's like unlimited defense from random fucking onlookers, Aaron Sorkin is the guy, and West Wing is the method. 5 years, time to unfollow. Grew up on West Wing, disagree wholeheartedly. There's nothing wrong with liking idealism as long as it's entertainment and you understand the real world. Leave my liberal king alone. Sorkin does not deserve that. Oh my God. Veep, on the other hand, Armando Iannucci is like the opposite of Sorkin. Sure, some of his later works are not the best, but Armando Iannucci is a far more competent writer and far funnier and has an infinitely better understanding of the world of politics and just the world in general than Aaron Sorkin ever could. They are on the diametrical opposites of being of doing work that is rooted within materialism. Star Trek is idealism. West Wing is ignorant propaganda. Fair.
But the only thing you have to do to make me and your mom happy is come home at the end of the day.
The only thing you ever had to do to make me happy is come home at the end of the day.
I'm not gonna like you, am I? Don't be ridiculous. Everybody likes me.
I'm not gonna like you very much, am I?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Dana. Everybody likes me.
But at the moment, I could buy Mount Auburn Street, take the Phoenix Club, and turn it into my ping pong room.
I could buy his house 4 times and turn it into my ping pong room.
Answer them, don't answer them. It's entirely up to you.
The West Wing is like 8 seasons of Reddit comments. Oh, that's so good. No, I don't want to play the iconic monologue. If I play this monologue, half of chat is going to turn around and say he's actually dope. If I play this monologue, the newsroom monologue, half of this chat is going to turn around and be like, he's actually sick. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to disappoint myself. And I don't want to disappoint everyone in this community. I don't want to be disappointed in my community. I don't want to awaken the nascent liberal inside of everyone. Okay. Inside of you are 2 wolves. Both of them are gay. One is a gay liberal. The other is a gay communist.
With each other at the Cheesecake Factory the night before their divorce. You never listened to me.
You never listened to me.
Oh, is that what I sound like? Oh, well, who am I?
Duh, I lost our kids' college money sending Amazon gift cards to an Indian man pretending to be my girlfriend. Duh, I'm retarded.
It's like, yeah, I mean, those are impressions, but I don't think that their child sitting on the other side of the table is going to find it very funny. Here's what the funniest comedian of all time said about making jokes about groups of people. You need to tell a black joke like you're talking to your black friends. You got to tell jokes about women like you're talking to your sisters. You got to tell jokes about white people like you're talking to your white friend. This movie wasn't made to be enjoyed by women or Democrats or gay people. It was made as a spite project to pander to an in-group. And my problem with it isn't that it's conservative, it's because it sucks ass. There's plenty of great movies that are made by conservatives and are conservative in nature. Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino, Mel Gibson's Apocalypto, the first Incredibles, arguably. or any of the Vince Vaughn movies from the early 2000s. The difference was they used to have a humanity to them. Vince Vaughn would be the sarcastic, everyman protagonist trading blows with the beta male liberal. But at the end, there was some sort of commonality where they're like, all right, you're an annoying pussy, but I'm kind of a stupid asshole. Can we just get along and get through this wedding? The modern anti-woke content gives no quarter. There's no olive branches. There's no attempt at understanding. It exists as a power fantasy where the main character is an audience stand-in that's always right, just destroying their political opponents, knocking over straw men with the lack of nuance fueled by the Twitter-poisoned mind. You might be inclined to write off the Daily Wire as propaganda, but that's not the correct term. Propaganda is a form of communication used to influence or persuade an audience to further a political agenda. Their content isn't made to lure a politically neutral audience into their ideology. The origin of these channels are SJW owned, libtard destroyed content where a grown man with a research team and printed out statistics corners teenagers on their way to a Comp 1 class to try to make them look like dumbasses. These aren't designed for liberals to come around and see things their way. They're made as a catharsis for people that already hate liberals. And I get it, they're annoying. Propaganda is supposed to separate you from your way of thinking. A grifter's job is separating a market demographic from their money. Selling anti-woke coffee and razor blades.
If you've had enough of the woke bullshit and you're tired of paying companies like Harry's and Gillette to hate you,
because they see people's alienation and frustration.
There's nothing funnier than this company fucking falling apart financially, by the way.
With the system is an opportunity for them to line their own pockets. It's an insult to the audience's intelligence that they make content that doesn't challenge their worldview or perspective. They say, we already know what you think and feel, and we want you to stay right there, because that's how we know how to sell to you. So is that it? Everything is shit? Hollywood is shit? The mindless brain rot is shit? The political grifters are shit?
With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes.
Is everything good in the past?
The sculpture is a Chinese woman, you dork-ass losers.
Of course not. There's still great art being made every day. It's just going to be harder to find now. The algorithms are designed so the content that rises to the top is often mindless clickbait, engagement farming, or people exploiting your anger and disenfranchisement. Great art is still being created, probably now more than ever, but you're going to have to pan for it like
okay,
gold.
bro. He put Mickey 17 in there. That's crazy. Like, The Pit is fire. Okay? The Pit was fire. Rehearsal's very good. I've been watching the second season, but Mickey 17 was biggest miss of his career. Sorry. Fuck you. Mickey 17 was awesome. Straight up, I stand on this. I stand on this 100%. Mickey 17 is you are objectively wrong. For Bong Joon-ho, I'm butchering his name. Mickey 17 is literally his worst movie. It's a 7 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. It was, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? It was for a world where Kamala Harris won the election. It was just, dude, come on, dude. You got Parasite and you're comparing it to like Mix 17. No, listen. The premise is great. I know it's like off of an original work. And it's supposed to be, what's your critique? It was a waste. It was a fucking waste, okay? It was a waste. First of all, Mark Ruffalo and his character was so fucking ass, dude. He was so ass. Like, he is such a fantastic actor. And it was such an annoying performance. Like, yeah, I get it. Oh my God, he's like a Elon Musk, Donald Trump type. Like, Mickey 17 When you watch Mickey 17 and you like it, it's just like the equivalent of pointing to the camera and being like, I get that reference. It was booty cheeks. Film Redditors love the champion mid. On the other hand, you know what was fucking phenomenal in it? What's the name of the main guy? Robert Pattinson. Fantastic. A Knicks player quoted Ho Chi Minh. Wait, Cat did? That's not just any Knicks player, bro. And that's also, holy fuck, that's from years ago, bro. What are you talking about? Remember, the storm is a good opportunity for the pine and the cypress to show their strength and their stability, Ho Chi Minh? Was he even on? Bro, this is 2019. He wasn't even a Knicks player at the time. What are you talking about? That's sick, though. He regularly quotes the Little Red Book now. Y'all are fucking joking, right? You are out of your... What? He quotes the Little Red Book? My critique is that Mickey doesn't have agency. The tough clone is the one that sacrifices himself. The main Mickey just sits around and everyone else does stuff. It's just like liberals waiting around to vote for Kamala. That was literally the end of the movie. Worst film of his career. Your take is right. No, it absolutely. He loves China. You know, it was filmed years ago, right? I don't care when it was filmed. I'm just saying that, like, oh, we're all over the place. God damn it. I'm fucking the flying off the wheels here. This goddamn stream is falling apart. Mickey 17 was a movie that would have been fantastic with tweaks. And I feel like it just missed. It missed the mark. It was watchable, but it's not rewatchable at all. It's just not very good. I say this as someone who absolutely loves space exploration, space colonization, and dystopian sci-fi futures. I love all of those concepts together, and I love Bong Joon-ho as well. It is fucking 6.5 out of 10, which is higher than I think it deserves. Like, all of those concepts, and it still fell so fucking flat. It was shocking. Did you see Sinners? Because I loved it. Sinners, excellent. Wall to wall. Phenomenal. Like, there were so many interesting concepts about cloning, the lack of care for undesirables, debt traps, and what people do. And what people do to escape, like what people do to escape the financial circumstances that they were forced into. Like, all of that stuff is great. Like, leaning into that shit would have been so much better. All right, let's keep watching.
City. Become a small-time patron of the arts. In a world where attention is a commodity, the only democratic control we have is not to look. You have to be like Lot's wife fleeing Sodom and Gomorrah, and if she dared look back, she'd be turned into a pillar of salt. If you're pulling your hair out and asking, why is this popular? Are people stupid? Yeah, duh. And you're even dumber than them, because you're not even enjoying the time that you wasted. It's like eating a whole plate of Twinkies and going, ugh, I hate Twinkies. Disgusting slop made to demoralize us. The West is dead. Yeah, man, no one told you to eat the Twinkies. They were just on the shelf. You have the choice. Give everything a chance, but once you know you don't like it, just disengage. If somebody says, hey, did you see that Ian Miles Chong tweet? Go, sorry, brother. Only tweets I hear are the birds on my back porch. Become fully grill-pilled. I'm almost 30 years old. I shouldn't have an opinion on MrBeast. Does the Fresh and Fit podcast suck? Or am I just not a Cuban man in the Miami dating scene? Does the Daily Wire suck? Or am I just not the most divorced man at my local cigar lounge? I like 90s anime and ska punk. It's not like if I sat down with those guys, I would convince them that Neon Genesis is the pinnacle of art. The Fresh and Fit fan would be like, AB, I'm gonna keep it real with you. This shit mad gay and retarded. This Shinji shit, he just like a little bitch, you know, freaky ass jerking his little dick in Asuka's hospital room. That shit nasty for real. Daily Wire fan is like, this Shinji Ikari needs to pull himself up by his bootstraps. I mean, his father owns the company and he's still dropping the ball. It's called responsibility, pal. Get your ass into gear. It's not for them, the same way their shows aren't for me. I used to be the main...
Okay, to be fair, their shows are for no one, okay? It's for no one. Because at the end of the day, you just want good shit, okay? I'm a simple man. And that's my number one rule, is make good shit. It doesn't matter who's making it. It doesn't matter what kind of, like, political messages is baked into it. That's why, like, even Aaron Sorkin stuff is, like, watchable, okay? It's not unwatchable garbanzo in the way that, like, something that is both heavily political, condescending, and pedantic, and just, like, trying to literally fucking force feed you a message in a ham-fisted way. That is the Daily Wire production. The Daily Wire production is aggressively trying to bludgeon you in the head with a political message and is far too angry to actually make something worthwhile. Not all art is going to have a fantastic political message, okay? As a matter of fact, if you're a leftist, a lot of art doesn't have a political message that aligns with your worldview. The word you're looking for is didactic. Sure, didactic. Okay. I'm so tired. My point is, it's not about like laser beaming communism into your fucking mind. It's just something that's watchable, and Daily Wire fails on that front. But then again, so much of what people consume nowadays is getting dumber and dumber and shorter. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing this, by the way. You're just now telling me this. The Justice Department opens up inquiry into Cuomo singling out another political target. Yeah, they're doing this because I think they're, they want another controllable mayor of New York like Eric Adams.
Target demographic for most of the content that was being produced. Now I'm just a smaller piece of that pie chart, but it's still being made. The Banshees of Inisherin came out a few years ago without any fanfare, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Black Country New Road is one of the best rock bands in the era where everyone was saying that rock is dead. I'm finding new artists and musicians that inspire me every other week. And if you don't see anybody making things for people like you, make it yourself.
Fair. It's a good video. Good video overall. I want to see him tackle the slop tuber epidemic. I do suspect that there's going to be a lot more people. There's going to be a lot more people that start talking about slop tubers in general. I'm getting a feeling about this in my bones because those guys have gone uncontested for far too long. There's an entire cadre of like Keemstar orbiters that fucking sit around in Discord servers and Twitter spaces and just like think they can fucking bully every single person for having a political opinion that is different than theirs, even though their political opinions are not exactly well-rounded either. They're just like, they've just decided whatever some of the leaders of the slop tube movement are saying. And it oftentimes revolves around drama and common targets, common enemies, or even like people that speak out against the major slop tubers has become too large of an industry to ignore. Wait, what is this? Slop content then versus now from 8 days ago.
Just consuming images and sounds delivered via algorithm. I literally can't look away.
You need to wake up and realize you're consuming slop. Slop, like oink oink, what piggies eat.
What else is slop?
10-minute video essays talking about YouTuber drama.
Are movies slop?
Could be, sure.
Marvel is slop.
Let's not go crazy, all right? Slop doesn't mean thing I don't like.
Okay.
Slop is something that's low effort to make, not nutritious, and consumed by the masses.
So Marvel is slop.
I shouldn't have even mentioned this.
Sorry, I like using words.
Sure.
I will not resort to hyperbole within the next few years, as indicated by a title change.
Okay.
HBO can't stop producing slop.
I went to the Met and all the art was slop.
Wait, you're calling everything slop too?
I too am influenced by the power of fun, trendy words.
Podcasts are slop.
All of them.
Also movies directed by British auteur Mike Leigh.
What are you reading?
William Faulkner's Intruder in the Dust.
Faulkner slop?
Yeah, it's one of his lesser works, so therefore slop.
I'm starting to wonder if categorizing all media and art as content has made us devalue it, and if calling everything slop is the natural progression of a world that doesn't value art.
That sounded like AI slop.
Says the character in a man carrying slop video.
Hey,
True. Also, the 2022 slop analysis is still ever present now. Libs are starting to say the slop is content I don't like. What? Content I don't like, just like the video says. See this lib tweet about you, sorry. I don't feel very fondly about the former president right now, but making like react slop content like this is just unnecessary. I think if you do, well, yeah, this guy hates me. He's the co-founder of Yimby Dems. I think if you think, as I do, that Biden bears a lot of moral responsibility for a lot of dead Palestinian kids, and doing this sort of YouTube Wojak reaction is just still very deeply off. This is not content. Yeah, first of all, I didn't fucking put that. I didn't put that thumbnail, but one of the things that intelligent analysts always love to do, is it just, which I guess they changed it. I guess they changed the thumbnail after. I don't even know if that's actually the thumbnail because it doesn't look like it's the thumbnail. Maybe they actually changed the thumbo. But is it just me, or are you being way? So if they were to actually watch the video, they would recognize that there's actually a point beyond Joe Biden has cancer. And me just simply going, oh, Joe Biden has cancer for 26 minutes. But of course, these guys never do that because they can't even fucking get themselves to watch a fucking, they can't even get themselves to watch like a 10-minute fucking YouTube video, let alone a 26-minute one to try to see what the point I'm making is. I'm sorry that the article title on YouTube is not mainstream media is defending Joe Biden's genocidal legacy. But I can't even respond to him because he's blocked me. I think. Yeah. Fucking coward. Sorry, what is this? What is happening? Good faith argument? Yeah. Why don't you tweet at them? Keep this drama going. I can't tweet at them. They've blocked me. Time to counter screenshot. I don't really care about fucking Armand Dowalewski's take on my YouTube thumbnail. Who would you consider your arch enemy? I have no arch enemies. Yeah. I don't care to make a statement about a guy who formerly had Yimby's for Harris. Former owner of Yimby's for Harris. That in and of itself is enough. the fact that he is able to, the fact that he's just like is unashamedly putting that on his profile is a self-own in and of itself. He's already done this. He's already embarrassed himself thoroughly. Jarrett updated the pin comment again. Military propaganda is the next video. Researching and setting up interviews currently. Thanks everybody. Love you, chat. Yeah, MAGA male is my arch enemy. Yes, I heard that Noah's talking to Rashid Al-Haddad. I'll watch it tomorrow. Another Yimby with smoke. What is this? I'm begging the left to touch grass. Yeah, dude. Famously, this wasn't a very... First of all, this is a joke. I know it's hard for people to comprehend. But secondly, yeah, I wonder if like the overwhelming majority of Americans also thought that the Democratic Party was running really old people, including Joe Biden himself, despite the fact that he was very obviously old and decrepit. Much to think. No lessons learned there. This is legit insane, man. What the hell's going on? What is this? Here's an update on how easy the right-wing grifter pipeline is. Amiri King. This kid is going places. One of the best takes you'll ever hear.
Guess the race of the person who did that. I'll tell you, they were black. Of course they were. And this is why I don't even like to be around my own people. If I was that person in the other booth that got rants all over me, bro, I would have been so mad. Because why are you even doing that? And the person who did it in the comments was defending their actions, talking about it's funny, it's a joke. You're weird. You're weird, bro. Honestly, please be racist towards black people. Maybe that's going to help them stop being like this. Because there's no saving the black community at this point.
Bro, that's a toddler. Like, that's how easy it is to be a fucking grifter is right. Bro was born during prime Fortnite. Where are the parents? Probably fucking listening to Heil Hitler on repeat. I don't know. I don't know where the parents are. Dude, it's crazy that like you can be an 8-year-old. You can be an 8-year-old and adults, like whole ass racist adults will be like, this kid's speaking the truth. Yeah, this guy is next up. CIA is sleeping soundly. It's over. CIA's on autopilot too. Anyway, love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, the thing is gonna happen. Okay. Jacket potatoes, Phineas, me, you. It's gonna fucking happen later in the night. So get excited for that. No lies, no memes. Okay. I know half day today, 8 hours and 18 minutes. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace. Bye bye.
Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. There he is again. Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. Review in the P.O. box. Uncle Uger's face. Sudden discord agitprop. Great names take embrace. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force. The whole left at your fingertips, Ane at your door. H3 crowded debate, the Young Turks online show. 3 full fucking years of this, plenty more to go. 90-day fiance talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A Trump rally live reaction, a mass riot at DC. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. Reading a live stream, fair comments, Austin show chat advice, and all the ways the right-wing pipeline can suck you in online. JCS react, Lord frame gets broken, cover blown. A full-blown mass pandemic, monster streaming at your home. Total radicalization coming out to find. The system you were taught to trust in was broken the whole time. All these daily streams, whether big or whether small, have helped me and so many find the meaning through it all. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming.